Well, today we're going to give you guys a quick update on the old silver bullet, the big full-size vacuum cleaner that could. Anyway, that's an inside joke. We'll leave it at that. So nothing has been going on with this vehicle. I am going to pull this unit out of the snow as soon as as soon as it melts. Anyhow. And start getting the body work portion of this thing done. It doesn't need any body work per se, as in like body filler and whatnot, but it does need a fresh paint job because the clear coat is just horrendous on this vehicle. Ugh. But I don't back away from a challenge. That's why I pulled this thing out of a junkyard. A lot of people would have left it there. I did not. I brought this thing home to entertain my viewers, which is you. So, anyhow. So, yeah. Has all 2 sets of original keys, plus aftermarket keys that say Curtis on them. You know, that's your aftermarket. Let's see here. You know, but it's got the original GM keys. This was an old lady-driven car. So, anyhow. Anyhow, we're gonna open this up for you, give you guys a quick little walk around of this unit. And there we go. This door here is actually a little on the sketchy side because there's a spring in behind here that is supposed to keep the door from, like, you know, well, it keeps it on this roller, right, so that the door doesn't just swing open or swing shut on your legs and hurt yourself. But the spring is actually missing. So I guess I'll have to find myself one of those, but it's not that big of a deal. But I actually kind of like having it not there, because the problem with these mechanisms here is that they round off, or the roller itself would get worn out, or it would run dry of lubrication and it would squeak, and it would constantly, you know, have to fight with the door. And yeah, so maybe I'll just leave it. Hard to say what I'll do there yet. But anyway, yeah, as you can see, this door has been painted before, because if we take note, there is a lot of dirt on the surface when it was sprayed, and it wouldn't surprise me that's why it's bubbling. So this was obviously a cheap body shop deal here. I don't think the car has been totally painted. I think this door is original. It's never been touched, but this back door's definitely been done by somebody who is either inexperienced or just didn't care, or maybe both. So, and the roof, it's rusting because the clear coat is gone. It's gone through the base. The trunk lid is a little sketchy. Well, the trunk lid's fine, but I mean, has to be painted. All it needs is a fresh paint job and the car will be fine. There's no holes in it anywhere. Somebody undercoated this vehicle. I don't believe in undercoating per se, because I've seen some vehicles totally rot because of undercoating. But for some odd reason, the oil protected this car and saved it. The doors, normally they don't usually go on this body style that I can remember, but I mean, this door is dirty, but I mean, it's not an ounce of rust anywhere on it. So, and GM got smart and put larger drain holes so it wouldn't get plugged with leaves, or if it did get plugged with leaves, you could easily get them out of there. So, that saved the doors. I'd start it up for you guys, but there's no battery in it, and it doesn't, it's got a bad ICM, ignition control module, so I'm going to get a new one of those. Actually, I ordered one of those, it just never came in. I would like to upgrade to glass headlights. These are composite plastic, whatever, and they're yellowing. So I'd like to find, maybe even put some of those projector lamps in them, like an aftermarket thing. Nothing too over the top, because I don't like things that are too crazy, but maybe I'll put something in there. I don't know yet. Something, because I don't like that yellowing. I don't know why GM would have switched over to plastic. Everything else is glass. Even those Hondas are glass headlights in them, which is surprising. But you guys are viewing at the passenger side of this vehicle. Keys work in both locks. This door is really stiff. It's almost as if it's never been used hardly. The interior is in fantastic shape. I mean, I shampooed this unit and gave it a nice cleaning over. And I mean, seats are in nice shape. No floor mats. I'll see if I can, well, I guess I have a rubber one. I'm gonna see if I can order stock GM floor mats. Probably a long shot finding some of them, but I mean, might be an eBay find or something. So anyway, yeah, very nice car, you know. Not sure what I'm gonna do with it yet, other than just paint it and probably let it sit. So there's no safety done to it yet. All I did was load it on a car hauler and I brought it here, and it's sat. Then things started to go wrong with it. The water pump blew, and yeah, it was leaking coolant. Had to change the water pump, and when I changed the water pump and put half coolant in the radiator, then the heater core started to leak. So there was a lot of coolant problems, coolant malfunctions, and the radiator is filled with hard water. You know, that white crusty crap. So somebody's obviously didn't put distilled water when they were mixing their coolant. They put ordinary tap water in it, and it totally destroyed the radiator. So I'm gonna put a new rad in it. It doesn't leak, but I'm gonna do it anyway because this car, I don't like things that are, you know, I don't like things that are like that. So I'm gonna replace that, make myself feel better. And the rads aren't interchangeable with this car, because I was actually thinking about just taking it out of this car because it's not even being used right now, and just put it in here and then get a rad for this guy after when I get the engine done. But they're different. The way the cooling system flows with this for the heater, it's totally different. Like it would sit in there properly, but I mean, it would have to, the hoses would have to be remounted a bit. So I'll show you that, guys, just a second here. Once I get over here, open up the cover to the beautiful power plant. I haven't degreased it yet. So yeah, this hose here, when you have the car running, it runs directly to the heater core. All these hoses do. This is a brand new hose that I put in myself. It's a bypass valve. Alright, see, I even put a brand new bypass valve in here. You know, that's brand new. So anyway, but this hose here, when you have the engine running, it actually draws coolant in here, and it cycles, it just flows it right through here. It's constantly flowing into the radiator. You can actually see it when the engine's running. The radiator on this particular unit doesn't have that, so it wasn't going to work for me, which was unfortunate, because you can hardly see it, but because it's so full right now, but it is actually filled with scales. So I'm going to get it out of there. I guess it really hasn't been maintained all that well, but I'll get it fixed up properly. So this is a 305, you know, typical. It's a fuel injected TBI unit with a distributor, you know. It does run pretty decent, but I mean, when it warms up, it quits and it backfires. So I'm going to get that all straightened out. So anyway, so nothing much has been going on. Hopefully around March or April, when the weather gets better, I'm going to bring it in and prime it. I can do that here in my shop. And I'm going to then paint it and clear it with base and clear at the body shop. So yeah, hopefully in April. And I'm going to get some exhaust work. The crossover pipe is leaking again, so I think I'm going to put a new one on there. Find out where it's leaking. I don't know. I don't really have the time to mess with exhaust. I don't like it playing around with exhaust systems because I hate crawling underneath a vehicle. If I had a hoist, it'd be a different story. But a good mechanic of mine lost his place to a fire about 3 months ago, so I don't have a mechanic anymore. So I'll have to just leave it, I guess. Or I'll have to fight with it. I have a welder, so maybe I'll just make it in myself. I'll try it and see. Oh, well, we'll see how it goes. It's not horribly loud, but it should be dealt with. I don't like it the way it sounds when it's leaking up front, so it sounds horrible. Anyway, guys, hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. We'll catch you later.